Diversity. It never, ever ceases to amaze me.
To succinctly put it as it relates to what we're trying to do around this Black Heritage Affinity effort, it is really what we can do to attract, develop and promote and retain more African Americans at the company.
So, Citi is prioritizing the hiring and promotion of employees based on race. Got it.
How do we become the employer of choice for blacks?
I have no idea, but I am dying to know more about the mechanics of this race-based initiative at Citi.
I know that you all have developed a system of shared leadership over affinity groups. That is a wonderful example. What I will say to you, though, is to extend that work across the organization, you should think of a kind of ratio model.
A ratio model? Is that like a quota system?
Where not only do you pick 3 to 4 white people, or straight people, or men, to join in the work of addressing issues of bias around gender or sexuality or race.
And you pick from those demographics because they are, what? Inherently biased around gender or sexuality or race? You know, that sounds kinda biased.
But you pick 3 or 4 hard cases. The kind of people who are high achievers, who are hard chargers,
who are good workers,
who would never show up at a diversity meeting like what I'm seeing on a lot of these screens around the rest of the country.
Who are good workers that are not interested in or who disagree with your way of thinking? Go on.
And you put those people in the driver's seat for dealing with, not because they have expertise, but because if you can get those people to become evangelists for the work, then you're likely to get a whole lot of other fence straddlers who don't really think this is important.
Evangelists for the work. That is amazingly sinister. Hey there, Bob. You're a great worker, a hard charger. But I hear that you're not on board with the company's discriminatory employment practices. So say, Bob, how would you like to lead one of our diversity work groups? I think seeing things from our perspective will change your mind. Oh, and by the way, as your employer, if you decline this offer, I'll have to assume you're not a team player when your next performance review comes up. So, what do you say, Bob?
What can allies, what should the majority of white leaders be doing? What would you tell us to do in a direct way to get to the goal that we want to achieve?
Yes, do tell. How should people with one skin color best defer to people with a different skin color to achieve the goal of a racially desirable workforce?
Thinking about the responsibility of allyship is also owning the problem yourself.
White leaders need to own the problem of there being not enough black people at Citi. Got it.
I'll give you a final example. And I'm in a situation at the Harvard Kennedy School where I've been there a year and a half, and I'll tell you 2 things that are very important.
Ooh, a list! I love lists. They make for such easy commentary breaks.
One, that students who are self-selected and identified as future public servants and leaders in this country, whether it's the nonprofit sector or the public sector, and occasionally I have business school students who are getting dual degrees, don't know this history.
Don't know this history. What history?
We're talking about America's best and brightest, and they don't know this history.
Are you talking about...
around this Black heritage affinity effort.
Do you mean Black history? All future public servants and leaders are ignorant of Black history? Is that what you mean?
How can we get it right if we are not teaching this country and its newcomers about this history? I cannot overstate that case.
What history?
What's inside of us is attached to our experiences. And in America, our experiences are different. This is a very heterogeneous society.
Okay, well, I will agree with you on that point. Though it sounds as though you think Citi should be far more homogeneous in regards to certain characteristics.
How do we become the employer of choice for blacks?
So if you can't see my experiences and I can't trust that you're interested in seeing my experiences, then how could we ever imagine inclusiveness as an actual value in the company?
See your experiences. How? How does one see another person's experiences? I wonder what visual cue our speaker is referring to that broadcasts to an observer how they should be assessing a person.
If inclusiveness only means remove yourself, be like me, come to work and succeed, that is not inclusiveness.
No, that's called having a good work ethic, which is, I guess, a bad thing now.
I think a lot of companies, often put out numbers that feel good.
Numbers that feel good. Numbers on what?
I am happy to say that the work that Stephen and I have done with Mike's leadership team has involved us drilling down into, deeply into the numbers. And you're absolutely right when you say, when you look at the senior levels of not just our organization, but across our industry, there's a lack of representation. And we're focused on that, not just at those levels, but the pipeline that feeds those levels.
So at all levels of the company's workforce, from leadership to promotion practices to hiring and recruitment, you're focusing on race, gender, and orientation. Got it.
And ensuring that we're developing talent in a way, but also designing succession plans in a way, and training managers in a way that hopefully change those numbers over time.
Ah, so you're plotting out a system of ensuring that the appropriate kinds of people with the appropriate skin color are employed in your company now and into the future as a legacy project. That is kind of a long description. I think I need to think of something snappier. Oh, I know! How about institutionalized racism? Golly, I wonder if it'll catch on. You stay classy, Citi. As always, thank you for watching.